part of what we do as well in the data center, we understand it's a very complex environment. It's influenced by many factors. And to create an energy efficient data center, the whole data center must be addressed. So we've created what we refer to as an ECM toolbox or toolkit, which includes a variety of energy conservation measures. And depending upon what's going on in the data center, what the conditions are, what needs to be improved, we select from this toolkit in order to come up with the proper or the best ECM. We've covered off in previous webinars to some extent considerable detail on the ECMs. One of our last webinars, we also did a presentation on applying 5 ECMs in a data center and what the results were of that. All of this information is available on our website. You can download and watch any of our previous webinars at your convenience. So the ones I've highlighted here today are the ones that I would say are used quite often. The airflow optimization, which is, it's not just management, which to us is the separation of cool air and warm air in the data center, but it also takes it a step further and goes into the optimization. How much air do I need going to my IT equipment so I can, again, meet the definition or objective of cooling optimization being the proper amount of cool air going to the IT equipment. We don't want to put excess air out there, but just the proper amount of air that's required to cool the IT equipment. A lot of cases we get into the networking of cooling systems, which then in turn leads us into sequencing of crack units. And in many cases, we've gone in and done work in data centers, and data centers, when we walk in, are operating with 8 cooling units. The customer believes they have problems, cooling problems in that data center. They're looking at purchasing another crack unit in order to add more cooling. And by the time we're done with our cooling optimization program, we can show that customer that site can clearly operate and operate much better on 5 crack units or maybe even 4 crack units, which means that they don't incur that additional cost for new capital equipment, and they've also saved a considerable amount of money. Tied in with that, of course, depending upon the vintage of the crack units as well, we look at doing cooling tech upgrades. We've sent out, again, information on our website is available on that, which we refer to as a floating head retrofit. And that's taking a slightly older version crack unit and replacing some of the original components with new components, which are being used in the newest crack units on the market, and making that unit operate more efficiently. And here we've seen considerable energy savings, and we've done, to date, we've done over 225 crack units with that floating head retrofit, and it's been extremely successful. And then we look at operational settings. So what's the temperature, what's the humidity set points that you have on your crack units? How much can we push those up? Because the higher we can push those from a temperature point of view, the more efficient your cooling unit is going to run, and equally so, the less energy it's going to consume. So when I say go back to airflow optimization is a bit of an iterative process that we go through here. Airflow management is what I would say is a single stage. So you go in and you put in the blanking panels, you put in the cold aisle, hot aisle containment, whichever it is. Maybe you put in some additional perforated tiles. We do that. That's all part of the airflow management. But then once we've gone through and do the rest of the work that we've identified here, once we've used the rest of the tools out of our toolkits, the appropriate ones, we then go back and do airflow optimization, which means given I've improved the management of the air, given I've improved the temperature, how much can I dial down the airflow in that site and optimize the amount of air that's being delivered to the IT equipment. So what we do is not a one-step process, it's an iterative process, and it does take some time, and certainly using a tool like the EchoSense tool, it makes our life a lot easier because we see in real time what's going on within the data center, and we can actually see it remotely as well too. So we know that there's things that could be improved upon, so we can make it as energy efficient as possible.